LEGO Fortnite's first update of 2025 is finally here, and today we're going to be taking you through absolutely everything because, guys, this update's so good. It's got people saying stuff like this, which is honestly such a W. It's not too often we hear good feedback about updates on this extent, and honestly, everybody loves it, so let's tell you exactly why. Subscribe for all things LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, and let's get into this one because there's so much to share, starting with what's definitely the best quality of life change update, and it's going to be the brand new village chest feature. So if we go over to a crafting bench after this new update, you'll notice something in the top left. It says that there's 23 chests connected. And if you look at my inventory real quick, you'll notice that I have no resources to build any items. But if I go to my crafting bench, since we have 23 chests connected, you can see right now, as I go through my crafting menus, I can actually make some of these items without even holding anything in my inventory. For instance, if I wanted to go ahead and make myself a new sword, I could actually choose to make any gem type with any sort of hilt. And just like that, you can go ahead and craft it and make a brand new, basically anything. Because as you can see, these 23 chests connected are going to be the ones down here in my storage room. Essentially, what this update does is it takes every single chest that exists inside of your village boundaries, and it links them all up to the crafting benches that are also within the village boundaries. So I have 23 chests connected now, but if I come over here and throw down some more amber chests, if I open up the crafting bench yet again, you'll now see that I have 28 since I put a few down. That is absolutely crazy, and it makes things so much easier when you're preparing to go out to battle or on an adventure, because it's going to save you a ridiculous amount of time in the long run. And guys, this is just one of the many changes that we're going to be going over today in LEGO Fortnite's first update of 2025. And again, this update's absolutely insane. And yes, I do know LEGO Fortnite came out with an update already this year, but it was really small and it was basically just bug fixes. So this is the first big update of 2025, and they're kicking it off in a great way. While we're over here at our village, though, the next thing that I want to point out is when you go to the village square, you can now see that the max world villager count has been increased to 55. I'm not too sure what the max world animal count was before, but it's now 50 as well. But before this update, you could only have 45 villagers around your LEGO Fortnite island, but now they've increased it by 10 so you can have even more villager friends, which is always a positive. And the next absolutely amazing change in this update is right in front of us here. It's a battle bus station, and they did two different things in this update with battle bus stations. For one, as you're traveling around the map, the battle bus station's blue glow is actually much easier to detect. The clip you're seeing on screen here is from a moment ago when I was flying up to this one, and I saw it out of the blue, no pun intended. But yeah, the blue glow on these battle bus stations is a lot more obvious now, which is good. And not only that, in this update, they also added more battle bus stations around the world, so they should be a lot easier for us all to find. But for the next interesting part of the update, right in front of us over here, we have a launch pad in the middle of the open. Now, again, there's a few reasons that this is interesting. For one, launch pads have never spawned in randomly generated structures like this. And for two, as you can see here, they changed the way that launch pads in this game work. So when you walk up to a launch pad post update, you can actually interact with it to change the force. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And this is actually my first time testing it out. So let's try a maximum launch on the launch pad and see how high up it sends you. And oh my goodness, that's insane. All of a sudden, you can send yourself so much higher with a launch pad, which is going to make these things actually kind of usable. Because if you've ever tried one before the update, you'll know that they are not that great. And one thing I do want to test with this is whether you can pull out a glider even if you don't have one equipped. So I took mine off. Let's go ahead and hit the launch pad, and no, you still unfortunately don't pull out a glider when you hit a launch pad like you do in Battle Royale. But nonetheless, it's still a really cool addition to the game. And like the patch notes said, they are scattered around quite a bit. And I think I see a few right in front of us. I think there's one right there and right there. And yeah, moving closer, that is confirmed. There's 2 launch pads just sitting within a reasonable distance. So you're able to kind of hit launch pads and move around the map a lot quicker. Hitting this one, I can see another one over there. And wow, I mean, you could just keep going any direction. That's absolutely insane. What an incredible update. It's definitely going to make getting around the map a lot easier, especially combined with the new battle bus station spawn rate. And so far, this update's been absolutely amazing, but I promise you there's even more to get to. Now, the next thing we got to talk about in this update are the butterflies, because no longer will butterflies take you to any combat engagements. If you remember before this update, sometimes butterflies would take you straight into enemy NPCs where you'd have to fight, but no longer do they do that. They'll only take you to good loot. So let's see what this one brings us to, and it is a silver llama. So ladies and gentlemen, the rift butterflies have been buffed. Let's go ahead and give our llama a little pat and see what he gives us. Did they upgrade the loot that the llamas give you? I don't think so. Still pretty mid. Maybe they'll buff it one day, but for now, we just got 6 eggs. Now, arriving back over here to our village, there's a few more things that I want to talk about with the brand new village chest feature, because like I said, it's absolutely insane, and it's going to make things so much more convenient when you're going on quick runs, and it's trying to make stuff in an efficient manner. You no longer have to go back and forth between all your chests to look for things. Everything is just going to become a lot more efficient. And for instance, right now, I'm going to go ahead and make myself a brand new shovel, and as you can see, man, it's just like you really have to put in no effort anymore, which is incredible. Obviously, if you're outside of your village boundaries, then things are going to get a little bit more challenging, which I like because it shouldn't be a walk in the park all the time. But here at our village, it's really just a big time saver, so I love that. Anyway, there's actually a reason I use the shovel, which I'll get to in a little bit, but you know, this thing has been useless for a long time, and I can't wait to share what's new with this. But before I do, going back into the crafting menu, you can finally track items again. This used to be in the game, but for some reason it got glitched out at one point and it kind of just disappeared. As you can see, you can now track the exact recipes on the right side of your screen for any build inside of the crafting menu. For instance, especially with charms, sometimes you'll forget about the items that go into it. So if you click track, you can see exactly which items you need and which ones you have. Pretty solid change there. Anyway, the next great part of this update comes here in the Rune Forge with the brand new forging system, which will actually make it a lot easier to not get duplicate rerolls. So before, if you threw any rune onto your sword, you would actually get duplicates, which you obviously wouldn't be able to apply. It was just kind of annoying and it took up one of the 3 slots. But now that's no longer the case. It's a lot less likely that you'll get duplicates when you're doing rerolls. So in the long run, this should end up saving you some essence and it's just going to be more convenient overall. And just like that, we made ourselves a brand new sapphire sword very easily, pulling 0 duplicates. So the Rune Forge definitely got a lot better after this upgrade. Check that one out. Your essence will definitely go a lot further now. But the next part of this update that we're going to show off requires us to travel over to Raven's house. So when we do that and board the bus station, you'll see that it's now a 5-second countdown. I'm pretty sure that's been intended to be in the game for a long time, but it's just been a little buggy. Luckily now it is fixed though. Oh, wait, is that a villager? That's a random villager. Who is that? Wait, who is she? Hang on, let's make sure she doesn't die. Cadence. Wait, who are you? Are you new? I'm so confused. Honestly, there's so many villagers at this point that I don't know who's new in updates and who isn't, but Cadence is a villager that has just kind of spawned in here. And you know what? You're gonna come fight Raven with us. Come explore. Let's go. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little afraid that Cadence is already gonna go bye-bye. And the reason for that is because in this new update, Raven apparently got a lot stronger. So as you might know, if you fought Raven in the past, he was very weak and he wasn't very good at combat, but apparently... Okay, and there goes Cadence. Not like I didn't expect that one. But anyway, Raven apparently got a lot better at fighting, and I'm already 1 hit, so maybe that's true. Like I mentioned, though, he used to not be very good and used to be able to take him out pretty quickly. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wait up. I like lagged and took damage there. That was not my fault. Anyway, as long as you have a good crossbow and you keep your distance, it should still be easy claps. But in the patch notes, what they said is Raven is now better at reaching players who try to make themselves hard to attack in melee and transports near them. Like I said, he was still light work today, but it is interesting to know that they did fix him a bit. So be a little more cautious when you fight him after this update. Anyway, arriving back from Raven's castle, we're now in the Frostlands where I'm absolutely freezing, but I have my shovel in my hand and I want to show you guys something interesting from this update. And it's the fact that apparently you can now pull up actual useful items when you shovel up snow. And already we got 1 piece of iron. That's a good start. Let's see. We got a piece of malachite. You would not have got that before. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we can get. Malachite again. Of course, you got to get some snow as well. That's one of the main resources that you get from the snow. But on top of that, I can confirm you'll also get a ton of other useful items like the iron, frostbite, malachite, and probably so much more. So guys, shovels are finally somewhat useful in this game. Hallelujah. It's been over a year and finally there's actually a reason to use these things besides getting soil and snow. W Lego Fortnite in the comments for that one. But anyway, we're back at our main village and once again, rest in peace Cadence. She barely lasted at all and unfortunately she's not making it back home with us. Anyway, there's still a lot more to talk about in this update and next we got to talk about something very small, but it's the first thing I noticed when I loaded in, and it's the fact that when you're sprinting and you jump, you actually jump way higher now, to the point where sometimes you get so high you can actually just pull out your glider after a simple sprint jump. It was not like this before the update. I definitely feel the difference and it's just something interesting to note. Not a huge change though. Another very tiny change is the fact that now chests are no longer in the storage tab. As you can see, if you go through here, you're just going to see all of your refrigerators and shelves and cabinets. If you want to find your chests after the update, you're going to have to go over here to the utility section, which is actually the first tab in all of the building menus. And then at the very bottom, you'll now see that all of the village chests are here. And again, the village chests are just absolutely incredible. We've got 28 in this village alone. I think I'm going to probably add a bunch to my dojo and just make this my massive hub where I can craft anything in the game. But if this update already sounds like a lot, then you're in for a surprise because we're only about halfway through. And next, we're going to rapid fire through some bug fixes. There's quite a bit here, so stick with me because I'm going to get through these fairly quickly. So here we go.
Crystals are now correctly spawning in storm dungeons. Items required for upgrading the village square are now spent accordingly. Player movement functionality is restored when equipping the musket. Resolved an issue where players would fall through specific caves on Star Wars Island. Fixed an issue where glass was missing in some landscapes. Mobile players can deposit resources correctly in sandbox mode. Players can now switch tabs using a controller and a storage chest. chest. Players are now able to deposit a selected amount of a resource. Mine skeleton chopper is spawning accordingly. I don't even know what that means. Result in issue where the pin location wouldn't refresh. Coral Ruckus should now give players the Eye of the Storm correctly. Result in issue where more resources were showing than players were harvesting. Blasters are now taking damage. Players can now enter the treasure room without any issues. Result in issue where the aim dot disappears on mobile after dying and respawning. Button for chat and journal are now correctly displaying and working. Result in issue where players did not receive rewards from the Imperial Bunker. Resources now are appropriately tracked within the pinned recipes. Recipes will now become untracked when the item is built. Resolved an issue where players may lose access to crafting resources. The X button does not overlap the sorting button anymore. Resolved an issue where dynamite and boom barrels would launch large buildings into the air when detonated. Sand and snow farming plots now provide awesome points. Vehicle sloped and half slope base parts are returning materials equal to their construction recipe accordingly. Resolved an issue with the music railing corner not returning parts equally. Bus stations are now shown up in the correct category. Rebel workbenches are no longer grayed out. They shorten how long solo players will need to wait at a bus station before entering the battle bus. We talked about that earlier. Resolved an issue where a piece of the Lonely Lodge build was indestructible. Interesting. And then last but not least, resolved an issue where Raven would drop loot on despawn. I mean, like I said, those are bug fixes more than anything, but that was quite a bit. Again, this update is absolutely cooking, but one thing that I read in that was actually that Coral Ruckus owes us some stuff, so let's go check out if that's true. For this, we're back at our Storm Chasers village where Coral Ruckus should be somewhere around the corner, and there he is. He's just hiding against the wall. But interacting with him, let's see if he owes us some stuff. He gave us a present with 3 Eye of the Storms and also a Storm Rune Tome. Oh, wow. Wait, hang on. Whoa, he gave us a lot. Health Charm, Power Cell, Slurp Launcher, Fruit Pie. Oh my good. Okay. So yeah, bro definitely owed us some resources, and it's nice that he gave them to us. Go check out your Storm Chasers village if you haven't already. Coral Ruckus will definitely hook it up. But guys, that's going to be it from today's video talking about the update. Let me know what you guys think about it. I personally think it's just a huge W overall. Nothing was really negatively impacted. They only really changed things that add to the game. So yeah, definitely hop in and check out Lego Fortnite Odyssey today. And on screen right now, you're actually seeing the brand new video from my second channel where I'm now playing Fortnite Battle Royale. This one was an absolute banger and you're not going to want to miss it. So click it on screen. Subscribe to this channel before you leave though, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching all the way until the end of this one. Peace.